students, this is Dr. Mercado speaking. We are continuing covering Chapter 6, our last and final chapter for the semester, which deals with analyzing and journalizing payroll. The problem that I'm going to be going over in this particular lecture is problem 6-4A, okay? Make sure that by now we've read the chapter so you can be familiar with the content, okay? Now, this is what problem 6-4A deals with. It says that the employees of Donnelly Music Company earned total wages of $4,690 during January. Okay? The total amount is taxable under FICA, FUTA, and SUTA. So this one's a little bit different than the last problem because in this case we are paying FUTA and SUTA. The last problem did not, okay? So the state contribution rate for the company is 3.6%. The amount withheld for federal income taxes is $685. We are being asked to journalize the payment of the monthly wages and the payroll taxes. Hooray! Okay, let's get this done. Okay, so what do we always start off with? What are we paying? We are paying for wages. Okay, let me put my debit and credit. That way we don't get confused. Okay. There we go. So, how much wages are we paying? According to the problem, we are paying wages of $46.90. Okay, make sure we read carefully. $46.90. Wages is an expense account. Normal balance is a debit. Okay. So, we always start off with your debit entry, which is to wages. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to enter all of our credits, which is where we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our money into our payable accounts. And remember, we set up one payable account for each type of account. We don't want to commingle the monies from OASDI, HI, and federal income tax together. Every account has to have its own balance and its own account. Okay, so let's start with FICA taxes payable. Okay. OASDI. I can't type, guys. There we go. Okay. So, what are we going to do? We're going to get the amount of the wages, $46.90, and I'm going to multiply it times my OASDI rate, which is 6.2%, and that gives me $290.78. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my FICA taxes payable. HI, okay, and that is going to be $46.90 times 1.45%. That gives me $68. Now let's look at here. It's $68.005 because that third digit is a 5. I'm going to round that second digit up to a 1. So that will be $68.01. Remember, if it's 5 or greater, we round up that second digit. If it's between 0 and 4, we keep that second digit as is. So, because it is 5, it's greater than, or it's 5, we're going to round that up to 68.01. Okay? Okay. Next, we have the employee's federal income tax payable. Okay. The federal income tax was provided at $685. Okay, so that was given to us in the problem, $685. Okay, $685. There we go. You know what? Let me make this like this. There we go. So it can be a little bit cleaner. Okay. Okay, so those are the three things that we're going to withhold from the employee's wages for now. We're going to withhold the OASDI, the HI, and the federal income tax. Now we need to figure out how much cash are these employees actually taking home. So I'm going to get the $4,690 minus the $290.78 minus the $68.01 minus the $685. That will give me $36.46.21. So what did I do here? I got my $46.90 minus $290.78 minus $68.01 minus $685. That gives me $36.46.21. Now, after every entry, after doing this for so long, and I did use Excel quite a bit, I always had my formulas at the bottom. That way I can make sure that my debits equal my credits, because sometimes we can make a typo or a little error and that's going to cause us to be off. So just make sure that your debits equal your credits all the time. Okay, so that is your payroll transaction, the payment of the monthly wages. This is what the entry looks like, to record the payment of the wages. Now, we also are being asked to record the payroll taxes, okay? So, for payroll taxes, we always start off with our debit, which is payroll taxes, okay? Now, the employer has to pay FICA taxes payable, OASDI, okay? And the amount is 6.2%. And we've already calculated it on the top, but I'm just going to do it again. That way you have it here as to what I'm doing. So I'm going to get the amount of my wages, $46.90 times 6.2%. That'll give me $290.78, okay? So the employer has to pay $290.78 for OASDI. The employer also has to pay, okay, we're going to put it into the FICA taxes payable HI account. It's going to be the $46.90 times the 1.45%, and that gives me 68. And remember, we're rounding up to 68.01. Okay, 68.01. There we go. Okay, and then we are the employer. The problem says here that the amount is subject to FICA, FUTA, and SUTA. Okay, the employer has to pay FUTA. Okay, FUTA taxes payable. Now this is from prior chapter. My FUTA tax rate is, we're going to get the $46.90 times 0.6%. And that gives me $28.14. Okay, so this is coming from prior chapter. Okay, and then the employer also has to pay SUTA taxes. So we're going to put it into a SUTA taxes payable account. And my SUTA tax rate is 3.6%. Right there. Okay. So we're going to do the $46.90 times 3.6%. That gives me $168.84. Okay. So those are the 4 taxes that the employer is responsible to pay for their employees: OASDI, HI, FUTA, and SUTA. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add those 4 together. Okay, 68.01, 28.14, and 168.84. That gives me 555.77. And that is the amount of my total payroll taxes. Okay, so you add everything that you calculated for OASDI, HI, FUTA, and SUTA. You add those together, and that is the amount that is going to be your total for your payroll taxes. Okay, and remember, I'm just, obsessive with my debits equaling my credits. When I'm done with all of my entries, I just make sure that debits equal credits, which they do. And now I'm more at peace that, my account is in balance. My accounts are in balance. And I can just delete that. Okay. So those are the entries that need to happen. For journalizing, the top one is journalizing the payment of monthly wages. And the bottom is journalizing the payroll taxes. Okay. So that is the final problem that I'm going to be covering for this particular week's assignments. Please, if you have any questions, concerns, contact me. Just make sure that you include the problem number, your attempted solution step by step, and your specific questions. Remember, I'm available Monday through Friday to help answer any questions that you might have. Okay, so that is it. Have a great rest of your week, and until next time, thank you.